why is Rager still on this team? I don't know.
Prepare for a shakedown. From Philly where they clap like huddles when they break down.
You know, we did talk a little bit about A.J. Brown. I want to bring him up again because there's a couple things that happened, right? Last week, I think it was during our show, they were playing a softball game, and he called out Micah Parsons. He told him to get his popcorn ready, right? And then he missed a few cans. We had the reports that him and Hurts may not be on the same page. But I think when you look at the A.J. Brown sign, the trade, I feel like flashbacks of T.O. Like, I think this guy is already making a huge impact for the Eagles. Not only being on the team, but around, the way he carries himself, the swagger. And I feel like it's catching on with the other players.
I think part of it is a big chip on his shoulder too. Even leaving the Titans, only wanting to give him not like high top tier receiver money. Wanting to give him $17 million, that wasn't enough, and a big chip on his shoulder with a quarterback that making a dream a reality of playing with Jalen Hurts again. And I think they're coming to eat. It's going to happen.
Right.
Just wait.
So how do you think they're going to use him? Because I think he's going to be used in the slot a lot more than maybe a lot of people think. I think he in some ways he reminds me like you can use him like a Deebo Samuel in some ways. He's very physical. He breaks tackles. He's good run after the catch guy. I don't see him just on the outside. Like, I think that there are going to be times where he's going to be in that slot, especially maybe on third downs and stuff.
Yeah, I agree with that. I mean, even the red zones would be great too, being that big body guy, and depending on what they want to put Quez on the outside, totally fine with that. I mean, I think he could play both positions very well. It's really going to be up to Shane Steichen scheming these guys, play design, and getting these guys open. Because honestly, it's how they used these wide receivers last year, and especially the right guys as Devontae to be your number one, not treat as the number one. And Quez Watkins, was obviously missed a lot of times last year, should have more yards. But I think they'll move. I think since beginning of last year, they want to use these. Nick Sirianni want to use these wide receivers as intermediate wide receivers, that they're not just going to be sticking to one side. God forbid there's certain matchups they want to exploit on the defensive side of the ball. They can move everybody around. They want to know every single wide receiver position. So I think they'll do that.
I think they're going. I think A.J. Brown is going to be great. They like to run those end arounds. They like those wide receiver screens. Like he's capable of breaking all those, man. God, I'm so excited about him coming. You know what I mean? Why is Rager still on this team? I don't know. I don't know. I think they would love to move him. I don't think they can get much for him. I also think that, my concern is that because he's a first-round pick and the way Howie Roseman is, that he's not going to want to just move on from him. And this is a fear that I have, and I've said this many times, and I'll get your opinion on it. I think that if Rager's on this team come week one, he's going to be the third receiver. He's not going to be the fifth receiver. He's going to be the third receiver just based upon where they drafted him and how much money they're giving him. What do you say?
For a guy that hasn't produced, okay, and I take his personal situation with what's happened with Jeff Gladney and everything into consideration of all his personal dealings. And I totally understand it. When is it, I'm trying to say this the right way. When is it going to be the time where it's like he hasn't shown up? I mean, he needed the OTA work. He should have at least showed up to OTAs. And I understand like there's a personal thing with it, but I don't know if we don't know what's happening. I really don't know. It could be, I feel like he's not going to be here. I feel like they added weight. They added a lot of receivers, whether they're starters, backups, practice squad. I mean, they added a lot of receivers, a lot of bodies. They even moved JJ to tight end. They added still more bodies. So I feel like there's just, maybe he just needs a fresh start somewhere else. He just needs to go somewhere. I don't know. I mean, I don't know why they didn't trade him to the Ravens and what the whole point of that was. And, with the compensation, did they want more for Rager? I don't know. But, maybe they're thinking and maybe it's time. Maybe they're just trying to find the right price for him. I don't know.
Well, I think after the June 1st cuts, he's like, I think he's only, is it like $1.8 million, I think, now in dead cap hit.
Right.
So, like, you can cut him, flat out cut him, and you can get away with it. So I would assume that they're going to do that. I would. But if they can trade him, then maybe they'll do that too. But I mean, my depth chart for wide receivers would be this. I think right now it's got to be A.J. Brown, Devontae Smith. There's questions about the third one. Like some people think it's going to be Pascal. Some think it's going to be Quez. I'm going to go with Quez, then Pascal. And then I think the fifth receiver's got to be Greg Ward, not Rager.
I agree. No, I agree with that lineup. Yeah.
Now, do you think Quez can play in the slot, or do you think he's primarily going to be outside?
He's made some plays out of the slot. I mean, they can move him around. That's the great thing about it. I mean, he's made plays out of the slot, so I have no problem with it. He's on a number 3 cornerback, so why not? You know what I mean?
Yeah, exactly. D1922, David Super Chat, my man. He says, "What's going on, guys? Can't wait to see our team play my home team, Detroit." Oh yeah, man. That's an interesting week 1, like Detroit. I think we should win that game. I don't know how much Detroit's going to be better, but if they lose that game, it's going to be chaos week 1. You know what I mean?
Yeah, it's going to be nuts.
It's going to be crazy. It would be bad.
And don't be a dingbat, it's a shakedown.
Don't you frown. Here comes Philly Shakedown.
Let's go.